With the release of the Xbox One X, we've started to see a handful of new and recent Xbox One titles getting the Xbox One Enhanced treatment. In addition, Microsoft has gone even a step further and has begun enhancing 360 titles with games like Halo 3, Oblivion, Mirror's Edge, Gears of War 3, and more getting either improved frame rates, higher resolutions, and more. So I am interested to talk today about what I think the next batch of 360 titles that are prime for an Xbox One X enhancement, and we'll be talking about all of that today on Second Breakfast. Hello there, I am Musty Hobbit, and there's nothing that a hobbit loves more than another helping of Second Breakfast, so welcome back. Today we are talking about the Xbox One X and the 360 titles that I believe would be prime for a Xbox One X enhancement. Some ground rules for what I'll be showing you today. These games are ones that are already backwards compatible on the Xbox One. I won't be addressing games that already have a remaster or a re-release on the Xbox One X. So games like BioShock, games like Halo, those ones will not be addressed here because they are already being addressed elsewhere. So we'll go ahead and get jumped right into this. I would like to talk about a game that has a very, very highly anticipated sequel coming out this year, and that is Red Dead Redemption. Rockstar games tend to be, just by nature, beautiful, and Red Dead Redemption is no exception. The Wild West setting would see a significant boost with Xbox One X support, providing more vivid depictions of the foliage, realistic textures, both in the character models, the wildlife, or even just the skyboxes. On top of this, as with any game, a steady, consistent frame rate would set this game up to run amazingly on the X. The timing of releasing a patch for this at this point would be great and give people a reason to go back and play it ahead of the sequel. It would be a welcomed addition to the list of Xbox One enhanced games. There's no other game set in the Pacific Northwest that I feel deserves the 4K treatment more than Alan Wake. I played Alan Wake for the first time last year and was absolutely hooked by the aesthetic of Bright Falls. Another game overflowing with atmosphere, Alan, an author, is seeking a reprieve from his writer's block only to find that his happy vacation is far from it. While this game was recently removed from the storefront due to licensing issues with the music, I'm not convinced that a nice extra coat of paint wouldn't be just what Alan needs. On top of that, the boosted particle physics, locked frame rate, and other potential enhancements would make this haunting thriller all the more real. And I think everyone needs to find a way to play this, and the addition of 4K via Xbox One X seems like a perfect fit. The next title is from Ubisoft and is one of the few Kinect optional titles that I will ever bring up on this channel, and that is Child of Eden. If looking at this game doesn't immediately remind you of other games in the Rez series, it absolutely should. From the creator of that same series, Child of Eden actually sits as the canon prequel to the Rez games. At its core, it's a rail shooter with two weapons, one that's capable of locking onto some enemies and another rapid fire. Playing this with Kinect is interesting as they assign each weapon to a different arm, so moving around what seems to be individual reticles. But even on the 360, the controller option has always been available. However, on Xbox One, the Kinect function is disabled, so controller is the only way to go. One of the things that sets this game apart is the visual style, which seems to favor more organic-looking environments and enemies, as opposed to the more mechanical later entries in the series. This game is overall enjoyable with some decent replayability, and I think a graphical boost via an Xbox One X patch would make this game all the more vivid, smooth, and worth giving a try. One of my favorite console strategy games of all time, from Firaxis, we have Civilization Revolution. Civilization Revolution was crafted specifically for console gamers in mind and does a fantastic job of simplifying many of the control mechanics that historically make strategy games like this unplayable without a keyboard and mouse. Select your leader, establish a city, and aim to take over the world with a domination, cultural, technology, or economic approach. The visuals are simple and colorful, but the amount of detail that exists in the cities or even just the minor battles is astonishing. Taking this game up to 4K would be excellent, and without another game in the CivRev series slated anytime soon, it'd be a great way to bolster the Xbox One X with a genre that sometimes gets passed over by console gamers. And to close this out, I'm going to cheat just a little bit, because I believe we need a 4K treatment for Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3. The Mass Effect series, now 10 years old, combines the perfect package of storytelling, impactful decision-making, and iterative game mechanics wrapped up in a space opera on par with the original Star Wars trilogy. Honestly, the final 2 hours of the first game plays out better than any summer blockbuster I've seen in the last 20 years. I won't throw this word around a lot, but to me, all 3 titles in the Mass Effect trilogy border on masterpiece territory. And in an era where people are concerned with corporate greed killing off our single-player games, the original Mass Effect trilogy remains as a reminder to me of how amazing games can be with the right team behind them, and gives me hope for the future of games as a creative media. Some final thoughts on the Mass Effect series. Now is the prime time for EA and BioWare to put aside whatever it is about remastering this series and get it done. Consumer sentiment is not good in the wake of the Andromeda debacle, and I think that it would do a lot for consumers, a lot for EA's own self-image to make this happen. I don't know what strings need to be pulled to do it, but whether it's a full remaster that it shows up on both the PS4 and the Xbox One and the Xbox One X, a remaster for the Switch or something, even just a 4K patch for these games that are already backwards compatible would go a long, long way. I encourage BioWare, EA, get this done, make this happen, make us happy, and I think we may forgive you for what happened to Andromeda. So there you have it. 5-ish games from the Xbox 360 that I feel would look fantastic utilizing not only the additional computing power, the additional resolution, and some of the other features that the Xbox One X is capable of putting out. I'm interested to hear, though, are there 360 titles that you would like to see get the 4K treatment or some sort of Xbox One X enhancement? Please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are there. As always, Second Breakfast comes every Thursday, so if you are interested in sticking around for next week's video, please subscribe and like the video if you did. And for now, I'm going to leave you there. I have been Musty. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Bye.